Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Hey guys, welcome back. We thought it was going to be a longer break, but it has not been too long of a break. Short break's a good break, I reckon, Kevin. Here we are, though, on day one of the Southeast Asia Closed Qualifiers. Second match for today, TNC and FrostFire. Now, these are not teams that I necessarily know too much about. I haven't seen too much from them. Cast a little bit of TNC, but you know, there's been so many roster changes, so much going on in the Southeast Asia region that this is a tough one to really kind of grasp and figure out who's actually going to come away with the winner.
Yeah, 100%. Because whenever you look at, say, TNC, which is the invited team from the Philippines, obviously, is that the Filipino scene has a lot of change a lot of the time. You do see a lot of people shuffle around the top teams. I think Archangel is another one of them, alongside with TNC as well as Mineski. So you do occasionally see the same names. I think Borkham is definitely a player that I've seen before floating around, but a lot of new faces, which is always good to see because that's how you get new talent inside the region. You can't be relying on just the old hands the entire time. But for FrostFire, I mean, a lot of these guys actually have been floating around for quite a while, and as part of the Malaysian scene, I believe it's, I mean, they haven't, I guess, performed insanely well in terms of the SEA region overall, but it seems consistently that FrostFire are the best in the region. And I think it really helps because you look at the stats of Devi, for example, and he, for one of the players in FrostFire, and I think he's putting up at least, I don't know, an average of 1.6 rating against domestic opponents. So
pretty good.
If he's able to bring that form in against a team like TNC, then this could definitely be a really exciting matchup. But similarly, really good players on both sides. So
well, we spoke about that last match with Boot, Dreamscape, and Rekka, and how Rekka probably needed to play it faster in their next map, their second map, and they didn't really end up doing too much of that. So we're going to hope to see a little bit of a faster kind of play style coming out here. We like to play it faster, of course, with Vodafone. But I don't know about you, Kevin. I can't really call how this matchup actually is going to play out. I mean, I kind of like the look of that FrostFire lineup. You know, you got Archap in there as well, another name that we're used to seeing for a little bit of time, ago on the Zen League and that kind of thing. But really, like, these two teams could be fairly evenly matched, I think, actually.
I think TNC still has a bit of a slight advantage here, just coming from the fact that they may be invited over. They've got some decent results, but it doesn't really, I think it doesn't really bode well, because we've got to look at it this way, right? So Rekka, this current lineup, okay, they just got, what's the PG word to be using for bodied? All right, they got shirt fronted by Boot Dreamscape. That's pretty much it. They just got slammed in the ground. Should have been sent to the tribunal, but there's no tribunal for brutality inside Counter-Strike, so be it. 16-0. Talk about playing it faster. That's playing it faster. So
that was as fast as it could go.
Train speed run. No glitches, no cheats. No. But the point I'm trying to get at here is that Rekka got slammed, and Rekka have beat both these teams before in the past.
And
quite
recently.
Comprehensively as well. So it's not as if that TNC or, say, for example, FrostFire are bad teams, but I think this is going to be an even matchup between the two. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. They haven't versed against each other before, and for FrostFire, they don't verse very often against opponents outside of the Malaysian scene. So
well, it's going to be their first taste of that, I suppose, here in these closed qualifiers. Let's find out the maps that we are going to be playing on today, though. That's the important thing to keep an eye on. Dust 2 and Overpass gone, but really what I want to see is what those first two maps are going to be. Is it going to be Mirage Cache? No, we do have a Train and Mirage again for our match today. Train first and then Mirage, and so, well, wonder if we'll get Nuke as that final map, which we didn't even end up getting to.
I don't think so. It should be, okay, what? More people want it to fall to a Nuke than Inferno, which is
quite surprising.
Pretty insane if you ask me personally, but that's also probably down to the teams not having the rigid fundamentals as well as the structure at the end of the day. I mean, this is me, once again, being hypercritical and sounding like a bit like a CSGO, I don't know, supremacist and whatnot, but you take a look at elitist, but you take a look at, say, even a team like Boot Dreamscape, they have the luxury to fall back to Nuke because you can see they've got the team structure of carrying them forward. They know how to play down the rotations. They understand how to take this map control both on the CT and the T side. But it doesn't fill me with hope because you look at teams like, well, we saw Rekka struggle with it earlier today, but I think a lot of these SEA teams will struggle with these concepts because they're not concepts they fully fleshed out before. They haven't really been able to test out. Don't forget that Boot Dreamscape have been able to go overseas and learn from the Europeans as well, and that's where they've really evolved their gameplay further.
Going overseas is what is the end goal for all of these teams here in this closed qualifier. They all want to make their way through to the season finals in Odense, obviously December 7th to 9th. We've been talking about it throughout all of the broadcast, the SEA, the China, the North America. That's what all the teams are gunning for, really, and it is quite a big, prestigious tournament, especially for teams coming from this Southeast Asia or the China region, even the ANZ region. You don't get that many opportunities to go to big tournaments like this. So this is kind of the sort of thing that you could put on par with something like the IEMs or the big mega events. And I mean, in a sense, it is a mega event.
It is a huge event.
And you get to play against the best teams in the region. Astralis won the last one up against Team Liquid in the final at Dallas. You had everyone there. FaZe was there, etc., etc. But obviously, these two teams in this match in particular right now, it would be an absolute miracle, I think, for both or either of them to actually make their way to the finals.
Yeah, I'd say 150%. Barring, say, for example, I don't know that. I mean, Boot Dreamscape looked really, really good. Unless these teams can really surprise us by suddenly coming out of nowhere and just going, hang on a moment, like these guys actually putting up numbers, actually having really good gameplay that we expect to see from maybe Tier 1 or Tier 2 European or NA teams, then I'm fairly confident at this stage that I'm not going to be expecting as much from these two teams as the previous matchup, and there's a good reason for that, is that for TNC, look, there's a lot of new faces on it. They're still very much, in my mind, a developing team. I think the Filipino region, once again, has a lot of talent. We saw that last year when we went over that the Mineski team at the time, alongside with Dubstep and everything, they definitely put up a good showing, and I don't remember if TNC also fielded a team. I think they did, but it might not have been this one back then.
No, I don't think it would have been. I mean, that was
they may have been knocked out. They may have been knocked out very early on,
Yeah.
so didn't get to the final stage. They might have been knocked out in the group stage and whatnot. But regardless of how it is, it's that for FrostFire though, it's the Malaysian CS:GO scene has never really filled me with confidence. Like you look back to teams like JYP Gaming and everything, and ultimately you can sum it up as promise, right? And I mean, you can sum it up as there's a little bit of talent there, but there's no real breakouts, right? There's no real things that make us predict against the trend of going, it might be a solid performance coming out. We'll see some good things, but we're not going to see a performance that's going to set the world on fire, that's going to completely blow our minds. It's going to be some of the same old. Can't say the same for the Thai region, though. Thai region, I'm really excited to see how they go.
Yeah.
A lot of talent developing alongside with, obviously, the Singaporean region. Some of the teams now pushing Boot Dreamscape as well. So I know Vindicta, for example, a bunch of young blokes there that did manage to upset Boot Dreamscape. Good friends alongside Boot Dreamscape as well. So that means a lot to Vindicta at the time. We'll see how they go from there.
Yeah, definitely. But you're right about the Malaysian region not really showing us too much of anything crazy. I think Kaze is really the one that's kind of been leading the charge for them. But aside from that, you don't get a sense that it is going to be a particularly strong region.
Here's a false fallacy thing, right? Is that we can't, and this is absolutely something I actually hate when us Aussies do it actually, is whenever, say for example, you've got a boy named Anna or whatnot who won the international, who does really well, and they go, wow, this is how the Aussie scene does, and it's like, no, it's not the Aussie scene. You have to understand. For Kaze, it wasn't the Malaysian scene. I think it was very much understanding of like how to go around in terms of playing around the SEA region, getting those opportunities in China, etc., etc. I don't think this is a live round, just because Subbies is still just chilling out in spawn. So there you have it.
Reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But let's see what the rest of these guys on FrostFire can do. You know, there's some names in that lineup that you will be used to if you've watched a little bit of Malaysian Counter-Strike or Asian Counter-Strike in general. You know, we've seen Eamon around before. We've seen Archap around before quite a bit. But then on the other side for TNC, the same can be said. Let's not forget our good friend Papi Chulo. I love that name. And I do remember casting TNC, mostly because of Papi Chulo, but FrostFire aggressively out onto Ivy. Perhaps a read that they've seen TNC do this before. It's worked out perfectly for FrostFire. Chat Mantra finding 3, Archap with 2, and they have just slaughtered TNC on that pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, can't really complain about that at the end of the day. They just go in and destroy it. But you're correct. I mean, it looks like they've done the demo reviews. Taking the pistol like that is always easy, because when you go, all right, this is what the team does, and you just want to go in and fight, you just set it down. Position number 1, and TNC have to realize, all right, they've gone over our demos now. Whatever we're throwing, we need to be careful and have a double thought about what's going on here. And otherwise for TNC, they are going to be forcing up here. Not really an opportunity. They were just knocked out of the pistol round before they even had the opportunity to do so, or to get anything done. Chapman just has a default A4. That's not something that you see very often these days, actually.
No, certainly not. No real investment in this round from TNC is, well, I mean, they've got a couple of players with pistol armor, but normally if you don't get the bomb down, you're going to see everyone force into the pistol armor on that T side. So TNC just going for a bit more of an economic approach, which will net them a slightly better buy down the track, a little bit more utility. But in this round, their chances quite difficult.
I think it's the correct idea, because the way that TNC will probably be setting up, just based on the numbers and how it works, that Wits and Papachulo are the ones that are putting out the damage, and it looks like Chapman going to be continuing the fragging. He started off strongly in the pistol, and it looks like he's got the A4, and he's just trying to lock down the Ivy position. Wits and Papachulo have been, I think, the most consistent performance for TNC. So it makes sense for them to probably get armor and pistols. They're not the ones that you're going to be relying on throwing utility. It's going to be the rest of the players. And now they're going to try and bust down the A-bomb site, but Divine's just sitting in the middle of nowhere's land. Eventually the rifles are strong enough to clean up though.
Yeah, easy peasy for FrostFire, losing just the one gun. Like, that's not a big deal at all. Pretty good anti-eco, and they're going to get another one here. So it's actually going to be the best possible boost that you're going to get to that CT economy early on in the piece. Obviously, at this point, it's very likely, usually, that the bomb goes down in the pistol round, and TNC would be buying here with AKs and armor, and obviously they could then theorize that you would do more damage to the CT economy earlier on. But now FrostFire have an extra round to build up that CT economy. And it's the perfect start to the CT side, assuming this round doesn't fall by the wayside. Not really much invested in by TNC, though, so the chances of them doing too much damage here, I think, are fairly negligible. Subby's on a pretty nice angle here with the M4. Nice long-range angle, fairly safe from those pistols, and here comes TNC. Good pop flash out for them. Will allow them to cross into the safety of the trains, but as soon as they peek around the corner, Subby's easily cleaning them up, and this is exactly how the round should be going for FrostFire. Devi will drop. Chapman does just manage to get the trade on 2 HP. Would have been a little unfortunate to see him go down there, but 2 rounds in a row where FrostFire lose only the 1 gun. Their money's looking great already. That's
pretty critical for Papachulo to actually get that kill, because it does allow the extra set of utility now that he can actually pick up. So can also get that second flashbang now. Without that Glock kill, meant that he'd only have a single flashbang. Doesn't sound like a lot, but sometimes you do want that extra ability just to bust down onto the site. Papachulo might be looking for an entry here. He's going to be torching away some good defensive utility early on from both sides, just to make sure they're trying to take or contest this area to the safest of their abilities. Chap going to be flashed out by Chapman, and it looks like Pro, though, turned away at the right time. Both sides tugging at each other, making sure not conceding anything. At the same time, Subbies looks like he's made a play, so that's going to actually gain so much information right now. And you've got to be favouring FrostFire from this position. There's been no presence at the B side as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, there's a lot of map control right now on that CT side for FrostFire. Player advantage as well, and a huge amount of utility still late in the round. 3 incendiaries, 1 just being thrown out there by Devi.
Yeah, and Eamon's just keeping hold of his grenades, but he might need to start dropping them a bit soon. And you're going to see the extra rotation coming out from Devi in the hands of the AWP. TNC, probably the best hope they can hit for at this stage. They've lost T-Connector control, they've lost Ivy control, they have to be committing to the B-bomb site. And it seems that FrostFire also know this as well, as Chapman also pushed into Ivy late to get the information that the team needs. Only really 2 positions they can come out from now. They've just found out which one they're coming from.
Yeah, Eamon does have that from us, so perhaps a little weaker here, but not if they don't check his position first. Great work, Wits goes down as well. And TNC have not made this take on the B-bomb site work at all. FrostFire in a position to even maybe take another round with 4 guns alive. Chap wins the aim duel, and that is another 4 guns alive for FrostFire. So just look at how good that economy is. Only 5 rounds in, and already some of the FrostFire players are getting toward that 10k mark. Great hold from Eamon with the FAMAS. You don't see that work that well too often.
Yeah, I mean, even if he goes down there, it's not as if he concedes that much position. He's not the critical anchor anymore. They've been able to get all this positioning so far. And what has really been putting, I think, TNC off kilter so far is that FrostFire have been playing very aggressive on their CT side, not allowing TNC to dictate the terms. So a more late structured default might work out dividends, actually, for TNC at the moment. But Divine might be offered a bit of opportunity right now.
Well, he does have the opportunity, but doesn't manage to connect the shot.
It's going to be very dangerous at the moment. He's not in a position to be easily traded out at this stage. It's going to fall off after that second shot.
Yeah, and through the bomb site is at least the attempt there from TNC. Eamon pushing them away and forcing them to come through the upper angle, which will make life a little easier for Devi here if he can get up there in time. AWP shot doesn't manage to connect this time. Finally managing to get one, though, as Borkham does drop. But TNC have actually gotten onto the site. Devi down quite low. FrostFire looking for the retake now. A lot of damage out from that grenade is going to make life a little bit easier. This push, however, from Pro should be enough to get rid of Devi. I don't know how many spanners in the works it is going to give to FrostFire, as he is an easy trade. That's a 4-0, going to turn into a 5-0. Another good round for FrostFire. Admittedly, against the pistols, they do drop a couple of guns, but given how good their economy is, it's not going to be too concerning at all. The AWP is going to come through. And a 5-0 start on that CT side for FrostFire.
Bit of an idea for TNC to potentially start developing their default a little bit more. So you could probably leave an AWP or maybe an AK just to try to take care of Ivy. Maybe 2 towards the Ivy, 1 just containing T connector, and 2 working the B halls. Got to be identifying where this AWP and Devi though is going to be at, because he might be shifting around quite a bit and he might be a bit of a nuisance right now. TNC, they've also picked up their AWP in their own hands of Wit, so he's going to be looking to try to get things started off as Devi is just going to be holding the inner ramp.
Flush out from TNC does give away the position of the AWP on the CT side.
This is really good from TNC. So they're taking that B Hall's control. You see Wits and Borkum, they're going to be playing in tandem just to make sure that, okay, so FrostFire, they can initially take this control, but coming into the later stages, it's only 30 seconds. They can come in afterwards, and then they can retake control of Ivy. The CTs have to use a lot of utility, and as a result, TNC, they can then execute from there. So
well, there's still quite a bit of utility available for FrostFire, but they are going to back away from the White Halls into the A site proper.
White Halls?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're white and they're halls.
It's just the first time I've heard of it, that's why. Because
I was saying it all last map.
I know, but I'm so used to it being called Ivy as we see the classic SL drop, not, well, falling in classic SL fashion, I guess.
Yeah.
We're just so used to calling it Ivy.
Well, to me, White Halls is when you actually get into the halls there, and Ivy is a little bit further out when you're by the Ivies. If that makes sense.
Or Vines.
The Vines, yeah, exactly, right? Always different names for different things, and whatever, who cares? We're on a tangent. It's the gun round for TNC, and it's not going well at all. Borkum actually does get Archap coming out from the smoke, but SL control for the CT side. Devi with the AWP will get Wits. It's just Borkum left alive. He'll find another kill. How many more is he going to get before he drops? The answer, not a whole lot. AWP will have to be repurchased for FrostFire, as that's not retrievable.
Just seems that FrostFire just come into this on point so far. They're hitting all the shots they need to. And, I mean, that SL drop, there's a reason why we don't see it too often these days. It feels like the CTs are able to react to it most of the time because they've seen it happen before. I don't know. SL control's really fallen out of favor so far. I don't think I generally see it too often coming outside of, I don't know, maybe some Tier 1 or maybe some Tier 2 NA or EU teams who know the mollies and whatnot. Look at this stat coming out from FrostFire. What is this?
A lot of teamwork, or not teamwork is the right word, a lot of confidence being put in teammates here by FrostFire. You can see certain players playing anti-flash, hoping that their teammate is going to back them up. In this case, it's Eamon and Devi on B ramp. 3-man stack on B. FrostFire with the other 2 players. We're in SL, so that was a very, very strange initial defensive setup. It's getting a little bit more standard now. Eamon has pushed on forward, and Devi, or rather Archap actually, is going to spot out Wits. So Eamon does have a little bit of info, knows that there are some players close by. TNC have fully rotated to the A site, however.
But he thinks the AWP is going to be in the upper B site, because that's where an AWP would normally play. So he's just going to give it up. He's going to call it as his teammates. But, I mean, FrostFire, just with that, I mean, that's not something you'll see any day of the week. But as a result, it's now allowing a 4-stack for FrostFire to be playing on this A bomb site. And Chapman needs to be careful at this stage. Finally going to drop.
Archap here with an opportunity to do a lot of damage, and he will do just that. 2 kills for him, grabbing the AK into T connector and gets rid of Witzerino as well. Bomb spotted, Molotov down, Devi up in heaven. Doesn't quite manage to get the killing blow out of that AWP, but the USP will be enough to finish things off. And FrostFire, again, despite what was an okay start, getting the opening frag, they fall again. 7-0 now for FrostFire, and what a fast map this has been so far.
Yeah, I mean, geez, do you think this is going to happen the same way that we saw Dreamscape happen?
I don't know if it's getting to that point yet.
I don't know, but it's just been so comprehensive so far from FrostFire. You really can't fault it. It's been even more consistently. It's just a demolition so far. It doesn't look like that you can breach any bomb site. I haven't been filled with confidence from the TNC players just yet. They always seem to be on the back foot. Even when they got that kill on Ivy, it was just there's so many more members that you need to find. Now the nade's coming out doing a chunk of damage, and Omen's just fast down here. He just doesn't care about making noise. He's just behind them already, and he still really gets the kill. Jesus Christ, that is absolutely insane what FrostFire is doing at the moment. Perhaps going a little over-aggressive this time, but Archap still does manage to take control of SL, and Devi is alive with the AWP. Bomb will go down here for TNC. Best chance now for them to grab around what we've seen in quite a while. It's going to come down to these remaining 2 players stepping up and doing something pretty cool. Devi
Under a little bit of pressure here because Witz is up on that green train, but Archap does bail him out, gets rid of Borkum, turns it into a 2v1. Info is now given to Archap as to the position, but he gets off the line. There was a free kill for him there as Witz just peeked around the corner of the train. Doesn't look like Archap's going to have much of a chance now unless he chooses that correct angle. He now does have the opportunity as Witz misses the shot. Bomb defuse is going to be easily in time for Archap as he does have a kit. And FrostFire will go 8-0 up. It seems they can do no wrong even when they try their best to throw that round. Let's be honest, Kev, that was an absolutely crazy round from FrostFire.
I mean, Papachulo did manage to hit 2 good entries as well on the side of TNC, but it just wasn't enough. They try going in fast, they take a bit of damage, and FrostFire unable to actually get the initial kills this time around. But you're saying Archap was just, he's a fragging machine at the moment. 14 kills in 8 rounds. Really putting the front foot forward and bailing his team out on that 1-on-2 clutch as well. So, well, it's a 2-on-2 clutch, but reality, I don't think Devi really did that much.
No, yeah, I'll agree. It was a 2-on-1.
But Devi, he's missing a few shots at the moment. Archap now coming out. Looks like he's the man who's bailing out his team out of a bad situation. And Devi, another shot missed so far. Not really feeling it right now by the looks of it.
It's not the ult that's making the impact, that's for sure. It's definitely the rifles. Archap with another 2 in the round. Papachulo, though, working his way out toward the A-bomb side. Perhaps has found something here that TNC can work with.
I mean, Chapman's also just pushed down Ivy again, so it's really just going to come down to timing, I think, in terms of how Chapman's going to push in, where is Papachulo going to go, and where are TNC going to be staging their attack ultimately.
2 players on B still for FrostFire, though, and Papachulo is getting a lot of info here on A, but I don't know if they're going to expect a CT in the T connector.
Oh, my goodness. Chapman, he's pushing up. Kenzie, he's got a knife out at the moment. Who's going to... Oh, no, he's made noise. He's going to walk. He's lost the bomb. Chapman. All the scenarios seem to work out, but TNC still a Papachulo here at the moment. He's going to grant the position away. All they have to do right now on the side of TNC is trying to retrieve this bomb. Subby's not in the position to defend it. It's all down to Chapman right now.
Yeah, if this next frag goes the way of Chapman, it is going to be round over. Misses a few shots, but still gets the job done. Papachulo making noise. Chapman can't quite win the aim duel, but with 20 seconds on the clock, this gives the advantage over to the CT side. Subbies is just going to hold the line here in SL, and Papachulo doesn't even really have time to check it. Great shot from Subbies. Headshot to boot. 9-0 for FrostFire. Another round goes down to the 1v1, but another round goes the way of FrostFire.
Yeah, and just, once again, it's just FrostFire just relentlessly pushing in at the moment, not giving TNC any breathing space. That's the advantage of having an 8-0, 9-0 scoreline. You're just going, man, these guys, we can definitely put them down and make sure we demolish them. But for TNC, I don't know what they want to do now, if they have to go in fast or whatnot. They're losing a lot of map territory. They're not really taking it on their default so far. They're losing these aim deals where Archap as well as Chapman just coming up on top so far every single time.
Another pistol armor buy here for FrostFire. Eamon solo on the B site right now. That was a team flash that flashed him up there, but it's okay. FrostFire still have managed to regain control or take control of the T connector. TNC playing slowly in this round. Wasting the time of FrostFire, using up some of that utility. I'm not sure how much that is going to help them. There's still a fair bit to work with for the CT side right now. Not a whole lot for TNC, but admittedly, on a pistol armor round, you never really do have too much. A few smokes is better than nothing.
Okay, so Archap has also spotted out bombs. So even if you try to come out Ivy at the moment for TNC, there's just no hope whatsoever.
Nice round for FrostFire to build up that economy. Assuming they don't lose too many players, which at this point now they should not, knowing where the majority of TNC are and having a good crossfire setup. The Smokes is going to just force back Devi there. Chapman actually does drop to Borkum, but still not a cause for concern here for FrostFire just yet. Archap doing some good work there.
He's already hit 20 kills in 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Jesus.
How many deaths has he got? 3.
Yep. I don't even know what to say at this stage. Train so far has been, I think we'll see 32 rounds in 2 games of Train. I'm not going to lie at this stage. TNC had to pull out something, anything right now. Papachulo's been the only performer so far. And everything that's gone wrong for them has gone wrong, unfortunately. Flashbang's coming out to the A-bomb site.
Well, another opportunity for TNC, but how many they've had so far, and they haven't really been able to do a whole lot with them. This is where TNC has to start digging deep into the strat book. Looks like it might be an A execute based on the positions of the Ts right now on the minimap. Looking at a lot of them setting up for some utility usage.
The problem with this, though, is that you can see how FrostFire is set up already. They've got so much SL control, so they don't have to worry about SL at all. These Ts coming out.
Oh, Chapman on the off angle is going to win 2 aim battles, maybe even a third here. Eventually goes down to Wits, but he most certainly has done his job. And Archap now spamming away. He got Borkham too. That's incredible. Archap, 3 through the smoke.
All right, sticking a fork in it. We're done.
How on earth has that happened?
Bole. That's all I can say, man. Arcap Bole. That's all I can say.
What is that?
I mean, second one, it was pretty low, I think, but not really, actually. Oh, I don't even know at this stage.
You can't do anything wrong at this point.
The man is Counter-Strike.
Well, TNC, this time they're going to go quickly into the A bomb site, but they'll have to run through a Molotov to do that. Sacrifice a bit of HP and lining up for Chapman. He will spray down 2. Subbies with a third, and it is just another sense of deja vu here, isn't it? As FrostFire are absolutely manipulating TNC at the moment. Grenade in from Archap, and of course he gets himself 2 in the round anyway. That'll be, what, 25 now? Out of the first half? Looking for the 30 bomb before 15.
Yeah, match paused. I don't know what you guys want to talk about, TNC.
It just seems like they can't even do anything. They go fast, they die. They go slow, they die. They take an execute.
I mean, fast is never good, but I mean...
Fast can be good, though.
Ultimately, the problem, though, is that FrostFire are just taking better map control, and their aim is on point. And there has been nothing from TNC that's been a counter response. You look at the fragging board, no one is even putting up numbers, man. You add up all those numbers, it's not even... Okay, it's half of... I don't know, man. It's not even Archap's numbers. That's literally it. He is fragging better than TNC combined.
25 and 3. Yeah, how many have got...
What is his ADR?
11,
I need this...
TNC have got 20 kills.
I need this question answered. His ADR is 184.
Wow. 146 utility damage as well is not too shabby. 8.3 KD.
And you look at the ADR on TNC, it's just not good enough. There's no one outputting damage, unfortunately, and the shots are not hitting.
But that doesn't make much of a difference if you can't follow up on it with the kills.
Exactly, it's...
Well, another round to play out here for TNC. They've had that tactical pause.
I don't even know what there is to discuss at this stage. You might as well just start thinking about Mirage. Not gonna lie.
Pistols, no armor really for the majority of TNC players, and FrostFire so confident, pushing aggressively. Archap flashed out here. Can he die this time? Yes, he can. Papichulo does get the kill. Eamon holding close with the AWP. Not going to be too keen on that one, but does at least get his utility down. Will allow him to back away.
This is the best hope for TNC so far.
Yeah.
They managed to take down Archap. They managed to take down Divine. Got some guns in their hands.
Exactly, those 2 guns. FrostFire have just gifted to them. Unnecessary aggression, really, from FrostFire. But to be fair, the way that they have been playing out at this point, it really doesn't matter too much. I don't think even if they do throw this round away, they still have money to buy next. They still have money to buy the rest of the half out. And who's to say they're even going to be losing this round at the moment, because still 3 players for FrostFire alive and 3 players that have been doing pretty well. I mean, we haven't seen too much from Eamon, I don't think, but Subbies and Chapman certainly have been looking quite strong, and Chapman opens up nicely. Papichulo trying to get some cover at the E-box. Will not be allowed that. Subbies now on the crossfire angle. Sprays down Pro as well, and it's Borkham up against Eamon. 1v1. Best chance now for TNC.
Oh, and he gets the spray down. Finally, TNC pick up a round. We're not going to have 2 consecutive 16-0s on train. At least that's something for TNC to celebrate about. Borkham with 4 kills in that round.
Yeah.
Someone stepping up.
Have to say, though, FrostFire kind of let that one slip a little bit. I think with the aggression over on B ramp, it was not necessarily required against the pistols that TNC did have. But now we've got a full gun round out for TNC. So a better opportunity in this round, one would think, to vie back onto the AWP. Eamon does just have the rifle back again. So everything's a little bit more standard for FrostFire in this round. No real aggression anywhere on that CT side just yet.
I mean, that shot has rung out, though, and Borkham pushing his way past the smoke is going to be flashed in, but Chapman will be able to turn away in time, misses the shots. The T is now continuing with the pressure. Chapman has to stand his ground and fight, but he's missing so many of these shots so far. Eventually, he's going to go down. Now come the nades as well as the flashbangs. Archap looking to retake this control.
Yeah, spamming through the smoke. Another kill through the smoke for Archap. Subbies also finding Papichulo there, I think, to the side of the smoke. And it's a 2-for-1 trade all in all. FrostFire come out with the advantage. Archap, the danger man, lurking, waiting for TNC to come through from Ivy.
And the rest of TNC, it looks like the setup to bring the bomb through Ivy as well. Really one-dimensional. Pro is relying on hitting this shot against Archap. Don't know how much I favour him at this stage, because Archap is just staying boxed in at this position, and oh, no one's checked it. They're going to think it's clear.
Be a tragedy for Archap to die to Pro,
Pro's watching it the entire time.
Yeah, I could see that coming. Archap just waiting a little bit too long and not checking the correct angle. Devi having a look here from his position to see if he can deny the bomb plant, but won't be able to do that. A 1-for-1 is all that he can net. Subbies, however, still alive. Spots out Pro, perhaps a little late. The reaction not so great there from Subbies. And in the meanwhile, Eamon did drop. That's a pretty uncharacteristic round from FrostFire based on the last 14 that we've seen. Still, they'll be able to get a buy
through.
through.
That's for TNC. You'll take whatever you can get, right? And
yep.
It means that Archap doesn't hit the 30 bomb yet. You could see him hitting the 30 bomb in that round, and it was... The trigger discipline cost him at that stage. If he just sprayed away, he would have probably gotten Pro as well. As Witt's going to be standing in the molly for a little bit, but he doesn't mind training a bit of HP for a kill. Subbies are read down for the count. I'm also taking quite a bit of damage as well, so TNC might be able to at least wrap up the half of 3 rounds to work with. Better than nothing. Drop down again into Archap. They'll deny the 30 bomb.
Well, small souls for TNC. 3v4, however, another chance for them to win a round. Go up to 3 on the T side. Maybe I speak too soon. Chapman and Devi finding a killer piece. Does bring numbers back, but Borkham will turn it into the 2v2 again. Chapman working around this smoke, however, is going to be quite deadly. Borkham just dropping down at the right time. Chapman is in such a commanding position now. Will spot out Kenzie, gets that kill. And now he can just lock down this crossfire alongside Eamon.
Borkham, though, has managed to make his way into Ivy, though, so still an opportunity to wrap around through A2 or even into that B bomb site. Eamon looks like he's aware of the potential. He's going to be sitting at A2 and finds the timing. So FrostFire to at least get 13. At least. What am I talking about? TNC. At least they are jumping onto the CT side now, but a very, very rough half to be trying to come back from.
Indeed. Well, FrostFire. We had questions about this matchup and how it was going to go, but they've certainly been answered.
Yeah, start CT and just kill your opponents.
Not always that easy. Wonder how long this map is going to actually turn out, though. TNC, if they pick up the pistol, you know, always a chance for them to make a comeback. It doesn't necessarily mean that they'll win the map, but at least they can restore some of that momentum and make life a little bit easier heading on to Mirage.
I mean, if FrostFire do win pistol, then yeah, got to be thinking about Mirage. But TNC, try to build up at least a little bit of confidence if they can take the pistol. Try to take as many rounds as they can and see if they can build a comeback from it. Just a single smoke and flashbang for FrostFire to get the boys into the A bomb site most likely, but it looks like do I think about where to throw things as Chatman. Of course, it's Chatman that's making inroads at the B bomb site.
Yeah, not a great start for TNC, but no player loss just yet, which does make life a little bit better. Chapman eventually does get 1 and a second. The aim is on point. Borkham will trade him out, but there is plenty more FrostFire players here streaming onto the B bomb site. Bomb's actually dropped, however. The A site is kind of secured, actually, for FrostFire, but TNC do have the bomb. So a chance now for TNC to away with the pistol. Ooh, Eamon gets the kill onto Kenzie. Dolls drop straight away to Puppy Chulo.
Divide doesn't have armor, just remember this, and he's very, very low already.
Can't get the bomb either.
Just needs a single headshot on either side. I mean, for Papachulo, all he needs to do is put one more bullet in, and Divide's dead.
Divide does have the P250, so that gives him a chance here if he lands the shot, and he's managed to secure the bomb. Time now for Papachulo to start to push on forward. If Divide can get out of this position, that would be great, but the chances of that are fairly slim. And eventually he is dropped by the headshot. Pistol will go the way of TNC.
So, a little bit of breathing space for them to work with, but FrostFire did manage to get the bomb plant down, so just expecting the eco for the next one. And Chapman was going huge, but they were just really spread out just then. FrostFire were able to get the kills, but no one was there. Like, two more other people. There's like one lurking over the A-bomb site, and Divide was just on the complete wrong side, so don't know what was happening there. They'd be having a talk about making sure that you group up next time, lads. But regardless of how it is, TNC, they're going to be buying a few rifles in here. Looks like FrostFire coming fast out to the A site, but they're going to take a huge, juicy pineapple to the face. And it's going to be a salad right now for the rest of the rifles as well as the SMGs.
Yeah, not much you can do about that one as FrostFire, but at least get the round out of the way. Bomb did go down, so they can buy here.
Okay, so a few smokes over to A, and it looks like it's going to be split through SL. Molotov, though, denying some T-connector pressure. Subbies just decides to stand in 2 Molotovs, but the rest of the AK is now out. Wits, though, dancing around the site. Needs to stay alive for quite a while. He's now going to challenge Sandwich, and Wits keeping it about him for now. Evan also trying to lurk around the edge of the smokers. Chap, given the Galil's able to spray down one more, but he's taking quite a bit of damage.
Eamon is in the position to win this round for
Is he? Oh my goodness, he's actually blind.
Plant the bomb though, and that will mean that Witzerino gets an easy kill. Chap can't do anything, making too much noise. 13-5, TNC win another round. And it'll be just pistols for FrostFire in this one. So what I'm talking about, if TNC starts off well,
yeah, they definitely have a chance, but that was just really, really questionable coming out from Iman in particular. You just had someone on the site that mowed 2 of your players down, and there's still a smoke up, and then you're confident enough to plant on the opposite side of where your other teammate is. Like, that's just questionable at most. Regardless of what it is, it should be another TNC round, you'd think. As it's now going to be a gun down, Papachulo and Wits going to be putting up the numbers.
Yeah, easy stuff for TNC in this round. Eamon, he'll get 1. But it's a consolation prize there for FrostFire. Another gun round to come here, though, from the T side, while they've got lots of rounds to play with. I don't want to let TNC get too on top of them on this CT side.
Have to wait and see, I guess. Because another buy round. Another time for TNC to try to put their mark. Borkham thinking about coming close. He still has the Galil of all weapons. It looks like FrostFire just waiting for this aggression. They come out just at the wrong time. Borkham nearly gets away, getting a kill. And unfortunately, can't fade away into his own smoke. Now it's going to be has to be a mass over-rotation coming out.
And what can subbies do right now on the lurk in T-connector? He's got the pop flash down. Just using it to back away. Chulo will be flashed in. So it's a bit of a give and take here from FrostFire and TNC at the moment. Minute still left on the clock. A lot of utility for FrostFire to play with. Setting up for something on this B-bomb side as well. Smoke towards Z connector probably. a couple more smokes to play with. Part of the reason perhaps that Subbies is rotating across, throwing some utility down into SL, won't net him too much damage. I think TNC are well aware now that there is going to be a push toward the B bomb site based on the position of Papachulo pushing forward. Pro has set himself on a line and answers the push of FrostFire very well. Eamon at least is able to get one, which is the bomb. TNC close by, however, will cause enough of a problem, and Wits with that AWP really starting to step up in this half. Seen him have a few pretty good rounds.
I don't know, TNC, they're making me believe a little bit that they can come back and actually, dare I say it, actually win the map from here. Imagine that, FrostFire going up 13-2 in their own CT half, and then TNC taking more rounds, because I haven't dropped a single one just yet, not even against the 2 buy rounds, and haven't even looked troubled. It hasn't been, I mean, Wits, yeah, sure, he's been standing up on the AWP, but on the B-bomb side as well, Borkum actually gave him a big opportunity to try to make their way around. Didn't work out. Pro, he's going to be challenged this time around. You have to say, with so many presence, or so much presence above SL, unless they decide to go over to Borkum instead.
Well, if they can knock Borkum over quickly here, they can get the bomb down. Which they have managed to do. Trouble is, Devi is coming out through upper, so all it takes is Wits here with the AWP to hit a shot, and he does. Bomb is dropped. FrostFire will not get the bomb down now.
Oh, that did 7 damage. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it just exploded a little bit too far forward and sort of couldn't quite get around that corner so much. Bomb retrieved there from Archat, but Wits, again, another nice shot with the AWP. FrostFire need to figure something out. They need to figure out how to deal with Wits right now.
I mean, that was well done by Borkum, just trying to output as much damage as he can before you get rushed. And I think this FrostFire is a nice way of attempting what would happen if you apply enough pressure on the B-bomb site. What could you get away with? So TNC are going to be mindful of that now. Potentially put 2 on the B-bomb site early on, as opposed to just leaving Borkum by himself. You can already see that Pro's there, but it could also just be a faster A-site take as well.
The utility being thrown out here. Nice little execute setup for FrostFire. Does keep them safe for the most part from prying eyes of an AWP. What can Archat do? He was so monumental in the first half. Hasn't done too much here, but that's the 30 frags up for him now. Borkum responds with 2, however. This Molotov might actually tickle him enough to get the kill, but just decides to back away, and that keeps himself alive, forces him away. Witsarino now down. That's the danger man from TNC dropped. Kenzie still on the bomb train, but Eamon catches a glimpse and will punish him. 3v2 now. FrostFire look to win their first round of this second half.
It's really down to Pro getting this kill against Devi at this stage. That nade's going to help, but oh my goodness, they know where the last one vaguely is, but they suspect that he might have gone back to T-Connector. Devi trying to find this player on the site at the moment. He's trying to play around Green Train, and he's going to get able to get the first headshot onto Pro. Borkum just going to tap it once. Devi think it's going to be a fake.
Knows it's a fake now. And that means that FrostFire will win the round. Borkum has to back away. Try and save this M4. Oh, the AWP.
I don't think he can save it.
Oh, 1 HP.
Jeez.
Calculated. He knew.
Yeah, I don't think that, dude.
I don't think he knew.
I don't think that. But FrostFire, they finally pick up their first T round on the back of that A-site take. Thanks to Devi being able to clutch it out at the end. TNC now bringing out the double AWP though. That's going to allow them to try and secure this B uppers hall a little bit easier, depending on what FrostFire really throws at them.
Nice shot from Pro. Subby's down early. Another round where FrostFire lose the first player. Certainly seems like both these teams are a lot more comfortable on the CT side than on T. I'd like to just see another execute out onto the A-bomb site from FrostFire. I think that's their best option. Especially with this double AWP setup from TNC now. They must know that it's a double AWP. Pro not typically the AWPer for TNC.
Don't know where FrostFire really want to go at the moment. Looks like it's going to be A-side split, but these SL players, as well as these Ivy players, haven't really taken control of it so far. And Kenzie taking a lot of damage. He's just waiting way too long, thinking Archap is going to give him enough time to get away. Well, he isn't, my dear friend. As Wits now shutting them down on the cross, quick on the flick. But Chapman's here.
Yeah,
never fear.
Chulo as well, but Chapman in a 1v3, while he's been good, I don't think he's been good enough to win a 1v3 with 23 seconds left on the clock. Needs to really be quick here. But the bomb's not in his possession at all, not even close to it, and the round is ticking away. Chapman can do a bit of damage here to the CT economy.
Just got caught out.
Gets caught by Borkum on the timing. 9 for TNC. Slow and steady wins the race, one round at a time, and they are making this one close. A lot closer than it perhaps should have been based on that first half score. 13-2. FrostFire have only managed to get one.
Yeah, we have to say that TNC have been more deserving on the CT side. We're seeing that their fraggers are now starting to come online, especially with Wits. Didn't have a great T-side half on the CT. He's made his impact felt. And you can kind of say the same for Archap as well, is that on the T side, he's had negligible impact outside of the round where he's able to get the entry frags. So I think it's just a common issue that we're seeing at the moment is that the T-side executes have not really been on point so far because not many teams know how to take this default control. You saw what happened with the Orpa at Pro, right? FrostFire are trying to take this default control, but they don't know how to take it safely. They lose a player and they have to expend 2 Molotovs taking this uppers position and they're not exploiting B at all. That's not really good utility usage at the end of the day. It's down to 40 seconds. They haven't thrown any utility. And yeah, Archap gets the kill at Ivy, which I think is like the really big way in, but no one's throwing any grenades. No one's really executing or doing anything with the flashbangs or the smoke grenades. There wasn't any smoke coming out from Ivy to cover, sorry, not from Ivy, from SL to cover off the CT position. There's nothing else. And it just seems like the attack was too segmented where it wasn't on timing. You couldn't see that Wits was traded out fast enough. Wits already shut down one arm of the attack before the other arm came in, which just wasn't synchronized. And we could say the same for TNC's T side, in all honesty. Another pistol round with just the single AK from Devi because he had the money. He can go a little bit ham here.
That's the hope for FrostFire, at least. They haven't really been able to do it with multiple rifles, so Devi with just one AK, I'm not got so much confidence in. Having a peek over the smoke, but doesn't spot too much. Has seen Papichulo there, but shot's not quite on point.
They might not suspect that FrostFire actually have AKs, so this might actually be more beneficial for them because they'll be playing a little bit further back. Now, they will be avoiding the SL, the Heaven line, but as a result, you're just going into Papichulo at the moment, and you might as well call him Big Puppy because you're just running straight at him.
Yeah, Ian's already made that joke, Kevin. You're not the first.
All right.
Chapman does have an AK. No armor, however, so needs headshots. He checks around behind him, he'll get a free one on Papichulo, and Archap gets Wits. P250 going to work.
Very winnable now, actually, for FrostFire. Got all the positioning, got all the timing to work with in the world as well. Just make sure you play in tandem. Borkum, he's been a big nuisance, though.
I don't know the position of either of these two CTs. Archap will back away into Ivy. So really a lot of this is going to be onto Chapman, who can't quite get around the corner in time. Pro will spot him out, and Archap has to hightail it into A main. If he gets there, however, this is definitely going to be a winnable round for him now. But just a little bit too late. Won't decide to take the peek. Can't quite even do any more damage to that CT economy as he fades away. But at least it's an AWP save through. So not too bad of a round for FrostFire considering what they put into it. Just pistols. They get the bomb down, bit of extra cash. They get the...
They had a chance as well.
Through.
They had a chance, which is better than nothing. But TNC, they managed to hit double digits. 8 rounds on the CT side. They're trading out efficiently at this rate. Yeah, but
how much longer can this go for, you know? Is TNC actually going to be able to bring it all the way back?
I mean, we said that 5 rounds ago. How much longer has gone for? FrostFire were looking at the goods, then suddenly TNC, Wits hitting the next level, Papichulo alongside with the Borkum, their rifles now starting to be used in service. And this is a much better default coming in from FrostFire, taking this B-side horse control. A lot of smokes being used early on, though, which is never going to be beneficial.
Look at all the utility here for FrostFire to play with. Possibly push players out of their positions if they're well utilized.
I don't think Art Chap threw that incendiary grenade properly with the Molotov. That's not how you throw it, I think.
Not sure where it's gone, actually.
Hasn't gone
You
into
can't
anywhere
hear
relevant.
it anywhere.
Because it's meant to be used to deny this SL control, but I don't think it was used properly. It missed one of the bounces. Not an easy Molotov, mind you, but definitely something to go back in the server and learn, I guess. A lot of time ticked away, but FrostFire really spread out still. So yeah, this looks like a record default. You've got a lot of territory, but that's just been playing safe. You're not really probing anywhere or unsettling the CTs.
Oh, Eamon's going to have a look into B here. At least try and keep both of the B players there. The rest of the attack is going to go into A. Not sure which side the bomb is actually going to hit just yet. Kenzie will lose the Angel, but backed up well by Pro, who gets a shot across with the AWP. 1 for 1. Not too bad still for FrostFire. 15 seconds left on the clock here, and Archap needs to win this duel. He was the player with the bomb. If he died there, that was round over. Very dangerous still for FrostFire at this point, and they cannot get into that bomb train. 14 to 11 will be the scoreline.
Do you see what I mean, though? Is that a lot of these teams, they're trying to take this default, which is the correct way to go, but they're not evolving to the next step, which is, all right, we've taken our default. What do we do here? And then the IGL goes, oh, we're going A. And then the problem is then Iman goes, okay, what am I meant to be doing on the execute?
They just
So they don't have a designated.
or...
They don't have a designated. Okay, this is how the bomb's going to get onto the site. This is where our entry is going to clear out. What happens if this happens? None of this has really been tested out, and they just go. They always think, all right, this is the theoretical best case scenario, and this is how it's going to work. Then it hits reality, and then you given a reality check. That's why it's called that.
Yep.
And then you realize, okay, our nefarious plans are actually really bad.
14-11, FrostFire with a tactical timeout now.
And this is not criticism just aimed at FrostFire. This is also what we saw on TNC's side as well, is that I mean, the difference here was that TNC were being shoved in by FrostFire a little bit. FrostFire were very aggressive, and as a result, they didn't have the opportunity of establishing map control. They didn't take that option as well. But for FrostFire is that they've been granted a lot of map control to take. It's not as if TNC have been really throwing in huge kind of, oh, we're going to be taking T-Connect and control this timing. We're going to be smoking out of Ivy and pushing in like this. They've just been sitting there, just utilizing their utility when it comes to the time. They've been waiting to listen for information. They pretty much have Kenzie here, which is a glorified defender at this stage, I would really say. Not really putting in the DPS that's really needed.
No.
And TNC are still winning on the CT side. I'm just hoping this is a one-off for Kenzie. He's been, obviously, you can have rough games here and there.
Yeah, a lot of the time, you know, he hasn't been able to get into these rounds too easily anyway. But FrostFire, perhaps that's their opening, doing a bit of a duck walk. Not sure what's going on there for FrostFire. But, look, they've forced into the round. Double AK, a lot of utility. Mac 10 there for Archap as well. Perhaps he will lead the charge onto this B site. But the double AWP is the real stickler.
What's allowed this to happen, I think, is because Papachulo's already got this T-Connector control, and he's already peeking in a couple of times, and he's just going, there's no information here at T-Connector, there's nothing going on. There could be a silent B-side hit, because FrostFire might be going for something quick. There's the first smoke grenade to get the progression onto Pro, and out they come now.
Oh, this is huge.
But
Grenade did
Borkum,
far less damage than I thought it would.
Borkum, though, keeping his head down. Kenzie talking about making impact when it's needed, as now Borkum has the higher ground. Kenzie stepping it up when needed.
Yeah, just another failed attempt from FrostFire to make anything happen here on the T side. TNC will be up to 12.
What is that?
Dropping. Does get the kill onto Papachulo, but it's not going to result in much further past that. This double AWP has been so potent. Archap on the CT side was hitting like, what, 28, 29, sort of something like that?
Yeah, 28 kills.
He's at 33 now.
Yeah.
We're into the last 3 rounds of the map. Potential last 3 rounds.
I don't think you can do maths, dude.
Well, it's round 27. Or 4. Great. Whatever.
I'm sorry, Jordan.
Who cares? Pistols. Not going to be too effective here for FrostFire.
Oh, this is, once again, going back to what we saw in the record. People are trying to make individual plays at the moment. We just saw Archap just trying to go into inners by himself, and now, I mean, at least this is a little bit more different. They're just going to run boost each other and fail, and Wits. He doesn't fail, though.
Yeah, he's hitting everything with that. Oh. Ooh. Scary times now, but Divide burning alive. TNC will hold strong once again. 13-14. Who would have thought we would be here?
This is really good for Kenzie. Getting a few kills, even on the anti-eco in the previous round as well. It's getting the confidence back up because, like I was saying, he was having a really rough game, and now he's starting to hit a couple more shots. You can actually expect him to sit at these positions like hell and actually get 2 kills and alleviate a lot of the pressure coming out from this Ivy or this T-connector take. It's really important for every single CT player to be now stepping up and at least chiming in with the damage and trying to play the positions when it comes down to these now final 3 rounds. And Borkum looking to go aggressive. This is the same setup we saw before.
Yeah, Eamon is aware of it, but he just cannot get the shot onto Borkum. He knew he was there. You could see he pre-aimed it. TNC are just making it happen. A divide drops. Witz has been sublime with the AWP. Archap pre-firing the corner will allow him to get around here. Kenzie does go down, and Archap trying to make some room on the A-bomb site, but not enough room for Chapman to get out of Ivy. Zombies at least does manage to cross, but it's 2 versus 4 for FrostFire, and again, they need a miracle to win this round. Archap already down. Witz again the one to have the impact with the AWP. This is such a crazy game.
I'm assuming Ian's already made the joke about keeping his wits about him.
Don't think we have, actually.
I mean, talk about it, because he's got 28 kills. I'm fairly certain on the T side half he had something like 7 or 8 kills. So he's dropped his own 20 bomb in the CT half. He's been looking so good on the AWP, and you really got to compare that AWP in the hands of, say, for the AWP on Divide, and it's really just night and day, in all honesty. Wits, every single round he's had impact. It's been multi-kills or impact kills. FrostFire going to be forcing up again. And once again, it's going to be Wits on the opening.
Yeah. Just does not seem like they're going to lose a CT round, really. Trades going every which way at the moment. Wits finally misses a shot. Now it's the double AWP to hold this A-bomb site. Trouble for FrostFire is that the bomb is in a very, very tough position to retake. Divide does have a smoke, which makes it doable.
They've got time to work with as well, so you can see Divine can go around to the B-bomb site and try to pressure off these AWPers. But Pro, as well as Wits, both pretty separated right now.
Well, that's the smoke used. Wits not sure exactly where any players are coming from. Having a look into Ivy now. You start to get the sense that FrostFire might have the advantage. Wits does go down. Pro caught in the side. FrostFire have put themselves up to 15, so at least they avoid the match point. And they themselves have a match point, but I don't have enough confidence that they're going to be able to string 2 together here on the CT side. Honestly, this one looked like it is going to go the way of the overtime.
Oh, right there, it all boils down to this round right now, and FrostFire's economy is not great. 3 Galils and a UMP.
Yeah.
Jordan, that is looking worse than my pantry at the moment. I'll tell you that. There is nothing in my pantry, and it's still looking better than this buy.
This is not going to be fun, I don't think, for FrostFire. Borkum poised on the line, and actually Pro misses the shot. Has it all come undone at the end for TNC? They had so many rounds that they needed to come back from. Wits won't get enough done. He gets the 1-for-1, burning alive to Chapman's Molotov, and it's 15-14, likely to turn into 16-14 now. It was such a long comeback from TNC. They may not have done enough. Give us one more round in that first half and they might have had it. But now it's on to Kenzie and Papichulo to try and retake the site. Kenzie getting some good positioning, but Eamon watching and waiting. And now 1v4. There's no chance for Papichulo here. FrostFire will win map 1. TNC, they struggled for so long. But in the end, it wasn't enough.
FrostFire got just lucky enough. They got the kills they needed. They had the round advantage for so long, and they decided to use it at the very end. Who would have thought it? Counter-Strike in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, 16-14 the way of FrostFire.
32 to 16-14. You can't make this stuff up.
No, it just doesn't. Like, how do you even...
I mean, admittingly, TNC definitely stepped up on their CT side. Wits was really solid alongside Papichulo. But the problem was, at the end of the day, they didn't have enough to work with. FrostFire had a really strong CT side as well. And both teams, look, their T side...
left a lot to be desired.
100%. I'm now very hungry, and I might go eat my lunch because this did not satisfy me at all in terms of their T-side. CT sides, yeah, definitely, man. Like, I like their setups. I like how they played around it. But their T-side setups, look, you might need to dial a coach. I do hear that there is one guy called Sniper who is available for consultancy, so I don't know if any of the guys are available there. He's affordable, he's knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He's also really cynical, but he's really good at what he does. If you want someone to break down your gameplay, this is probably the guy that you want to do it, and he's going to fix your T-side, because both T-sides were really bad. I'm sorry to emphasize it, but that really is what this game boiled down to. It wasn't both teams having insane CT sides, which were good. It was also the fact that the T sides were just really dismal at the end of the day. And there was just no impact really felt on a lot of the times by strategy or executions. It was by individual brilliance.
Yeah, TNC do drop their own map pick, so that's obviously less than ideal. The one saving grace, I think at least, is that they had a good well, they had a very good CT side, so did FrostFire, but they'll probably be starting on the CT side of Mirage as well. So
I'm not keen on watching Mirage already. I'll tell you that. It's just I'm gonna enjoy the aim duels. I'm gonna enjoy Archap as well as Chatman getting into really good positions. I'm gonna enjoy Wit's orbing as well as Borkum's multiple spray downs when it counts, but I'm going to tell you this, I'm not going to enjoy how the teams approach it now, because just judging on how they approach Train as well, I think it's going to be a bit of a same old, like how we saw Wrecker play it. And
yeah, but a lot of the time, you know, we talk about Train, and it's not a map that you see on the Asian matches too often. So perhaps for both of these teams, it's a map that they aren't 100% comfortable on, or whatever. It might not have been their day. Mirage is your stock standard. It's your bread and butter. Everyone knows how to play Mirage.
Here's the thing, right? I say it's not your day when your shots are not hitting. So Wrecker on Mirage, early on, I said it wasn't their day because they were losing duels against Tommy. It clearly was this day. But later on, it didn't become their day because it was because of strategy. Right? And that's the whole thing. It's just teams don't give me that much confidence.
Do you know what I think TNC needs to do, Kevin?
They need to practice on ECL. I'm taking a guess here.
No,
or get MSI gear.
They need to be the best that they can be in map number 2. And to be honest, they maybe don't need to be the best that they can be, because that was such a close map. You give TNC 1 or 2 more rounds in that first half, and they could have potentially closed out that map. In the end, they couldn't quite do it, though, so they need to figure things out for map number 2, and then potentially work things out and maybe have a bit of a better time.
I honestly don't see it. I know I'm really being Mr. Negative today instead of being Mr. Brightside, but that's it.
All right, well, all in all, we've still got a few more matches, or maps rather, to come up here at the ESL Pro League SEA closed qualifiers for day 1. We're going to head to a break, but map 2, Mirage, between these two teams coming up next.